Welcome to the show, and here are your hosts, the diabolical Elite Gaming Guru, the illustrious Red Dead Panda, and the Australian stud AshtreyGaming. So let's get this party started. Shit.
Are we live?
Yes.
Yes. Listen, like, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Gamers Edition podcast.
Shit.
Starring myself, the Gaming Guru, Red Dead Panda, and AshtreyGaming. Hello all. Welcome. How are you doing?
Okay.
Yes. What episode are we? 77.
Very professional.
Yeah. Shit. There's a bit of. Nobody cares. Hello, Pico. Yeah, where have you been? Don't go into too much detail. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know. I feel like you just. Yeah.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah. Hopefully, they're still with us. Trial fan. Bitty Smith.
Oh, check your settings, because they can hear me. I just listened to the audio back. I could hear myself, so.
Yes, I can't hear red. So let's just get on with it, Ashtray. So Ashtray, as well the ones that matter.
Oh, shit.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So
Yeah.
the
Fantastic.
Elite and Ashtray show, everybody.
Can you hear me now? I was just trash
we
talking.
just lost,
yeah,
like,
I was just saying I had a migraine
people.
and I didn't have lockjaw, but I've been good. No, my girlfriend's
Bullshit.
been sick, and so I went and looked after her last night, and then got back here in time for the podcast this morning. So yeah, you guys should be able to hear me now. Sorry, OBS did an update, kept everyone else's settings but mine. Yeah.
It's
But-
a very professional show.
Yeah, I know, right? Shout out to the rest of the chat. Shout out to the rest of the chat, guys.
It doesn't go wrong when Ashtray does it.
What was that?
Let's.
Elite, do you want to run the
Let's be
show on
honest,
your,
it has
on
many
your PC?
times.
Do you want to run it on your PC? Elite?
Oh,
What? You want to throw shade?
you've just been called out.
Yeah.
Right. I'm getting a bit of static feedback. Is that from Ashtray?
Yeah.
That's probably from me, yeah. I'm going to pick up a new chord today.
Oh no.
And he's
Yeah.
going to strangle you
Right.
with this old cord, Elite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
We're going to get a new panel
So
member.
we need to explain why we're late or early. Elite, why don't you tell everyone?
Because the world changed, the times changed, and I was sitting downstairs with my wife watching Barbarian, that film Barbarian. Has anyone watched Barbarian?
Nah.
It's a horror film. It's quite good actually. It's quite enjoyable. So I was sitting watching that, and then I was getting my phone
Why weren't
started.
you just watching
like,
a
beep,
video
beep,
of
beep,
your
beep,
life?
beep,
That sounds like a
loads
horror
of bitches
movie.
sound elite.
Red.
Savage.
But send me a picture of your face. Oh.
Oh, shit.
Shit, sorry, you were saying I was being rude. Sorry.
Yeah. Where was we?
You guys are fucked.
You were watching Barbarian.
Yeah, watching Barbarian. Yeah, it's quite good. And then what did I say? Yeah, but what games have you been playing? Yeah, no, I've got loads of messages, and I looked at my phone, and I had loads of messages saying elite.
That was me.
Yeah.
That's because your time zone changed, and yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, my time zone's correct because England was before you, so
I think my time zone's correct because New Zealand is the beginning of when the new day starts, so my time zone's correct.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
But like New Zealand's just a rock.
New Zealand is just a rock.
Nobody just cares.
No,
for.
like a sundial.
Yep.
Yeah.
New Zealand is a
They don't have
sundial.
watches over there yet.
No, they don't.
No, we don't. No, we use sundials. I just made a sundial on my wrist.
All right. Let's find out what everyone's actually been playing because we're here for gaming. So, Red, what have you been playing?
A Plague's Tale. I've been playing a Plague's Tale when I've been online, but I've mainly been appearing offline, but that's all I've really had time for. I've been really busy at work, so yeah. I've been trying to split my time and doing stuff on my house, but yeah. Plague's Tale, loving that still. I haven't got COD, guys, because, it's expensive here, and I just can't justify buying it, but I've been told by Ashtray I should, because I like shooting people with...
You'd be good at it.
With video game guns, not real guns. I probably would be good at it. I love Halo, so yeah. What have you been playing, Ashtray?
I've been playing COD. Yep. I suck, but it's fun. I usually get around about sort of 10, 11 kills per match, which isn't, it's not
bad.
terrible. But it's nothing like Boba and the others that get like 20 and 30 kills per match. So
are you screaming,
whatever, but it's fun.
Screaming hacks yet?
Oh, of course. That's the first thing I do. I think they're getting a bit. Yeah, I think they're getting a bit sick of that too. But anyway, whatever.
That makes
it's
me
all
laugh.
Good. So I jumped between that and a Fortnite. I played a little bit of Plague's Tale about a week or so ago. Haven't gone back to it yet. I probably need to appear offline for a little while just to jump in and play that without interruptions, but that doesn't usually happen. So, Elite, what have you been up to?
I've been playing Mad Max. I've been really enjoying Mad Max. Get back to it because I bought it for £2, I think, off the Microsoft Store.
Wait,
You
is
playing that
another
on
game that you
Xbox
bought?
or PC?
Xbox, LME Xbox, yeah. It was.
No, I saw
£2
you.
on Microsoft.
Saw you online. I think it was yesterday, and it was PC symbol. What's that all about?
I don't know. I've not played any games. That's weird. Yeah, I've not played any games.
Okay.
On PC.
Interesting.
Elite's still using
It is
dial-up,
interesting.
so his PC's a little slow.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Get up on your mic,
and
you
I
were
was
quiet,
playing-
Elite. Get up on your mic.
No. I can't get any closer. I'm basically just mouthing it.
Put it in your mouth, okay?
Yeah, pretend it's clunge.
Yeah. Oh, we've got Tribe in the chat. Hello, Tribe. Oh, hello, Smith. We've got Smithy Smith, Pico, and Tribe now. Yeah, and I'm about halfway through school, so I'm looking to complete that this weekend.
Yeah, nice.
So I quite like that. And what else? Oh yeah, and that new game, if anyone's played it, Marvel Snap. Have they ever played that?
No.
No.
Oh, it's really
Have
it's
you
a
ever
phone
played
game. It's really
the
addictive
Knights
actually.
game?
I
What
really
is it?
enjoyed it.
Gotham Knights?
Marvel Snap. Yeah. No, oh, I've not played that. No.
Neither.
No.
I've been
Marvel
pretty
Snap's
useless
a
at
phone
playing
game.
new games.
It's really enjoyable. Yeah, I'm playing. Yeah, I'm not paying certainly for Gotham Knights. No, even though I've heard it's actually quite fun and good to play. But yeah, I'm not paying $70.
That's
for it.
because you're only willing to spend like £3 on a game.
Yeah. I'm quite happy to spend 70 for a genuine next gen game that's
Yeah,
worthy
that's
of
true.
it, worthy of my time. But I'm not throwing $70 on the pounds
On a
on
30
game that
FPS
looks like
title?
last gen. Yeah, it's 30 FPS. Yeah, it just basically can run on 360. I'm not doing that.
360.
They can't eat my sack.
Well, speaking of Marvel games, do you want to jump in the first topic, Elite?
Let's do that. So, EA is developing at least three new Marvel games, starting with Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man. Iron Man.
Ironing board man?
Like an iron simulator. Yeah, and that's going to be
So it's
developed
not
by
gonna be
Motive
like
Studios.
Power Wash Simulator, it's going to be someone with an ironing board using
Yeah.
different types of
Iron
irons to
Man's
get rid of the
simulator.
creases out. That sounds like an
Yeah,
interesting
that's
Marvel
what you
game.
do. You just get rid of all the creases.
You have joined the cringe hour.
You're joined Serena hasn't had enough sleep hour.
Yeah, so you have a woman in the chat and it starts going into sort of household chores. Alright. Right, Motive Studios are going to develop this game. Who are they? What have they made?
I'm
Motive.
still laughing, dude. Come on, man. Shit.
Bruv.
What
You
has
messy
Motive
today.
made? Elite,
Star
how
Wars
are you doing a
Squadrons?
podcast?
I don't know. What has Motive Studios made?
Star Wars Squadrons is one of them.
Oh, really? Is that what they've made?
Battle. Yeah.
Oh, so
Star Wars
they made
Battlefront?
they made the failed Star Wars games then.
They-
For once.
They're working on Dead Space, right? They're working on the new Dead
I
Space.
believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the remaster of it.
Yeah. So do you want to think about what you just said and go sit in the naughty corner for 5 minutes?
Yeah, they just remastered an old game. I'll put much kudos into that. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Savage.
Pat him on the back yet.
Elite hasn't had his Wheaties today.
I'm not going to give much credit. They've made some sort of average Star Wars games and they're a remaster.
Well, look, I mean, obviously, there's enough confidence in them to hand them more games, right? Under the Star Wars banner, so they must be doing something right. They must be happy with what they've been doing. I think it's a good thing. I'm looking forward. The only thing is, and this is probably just me, maybe a few of you out there, but if Iron Man has to have good flight mechanics, if it doesn't have on par or better than
Then-
Anthem, it's gonna be hard to play
And they can
for
go
me.
suck
For
it?
me,
Yeah, I agree.
pretty much. I haven't played anything yet that has better flying mechanics than Anthem, and that's just my opinion. But those flying mechanics are fantastic. So they've got to come with that kind of quality and mechanics of it for sure. But yeah, starting with an Iron Man game, that'd be good. There's a lot of potential there for flying games. A Spider-Man, because we've seen Spider-Man, right? He swings a lot. But flying, I think people probably prefer even more. And
I'd like a Shazam game. I really
he's
like
a
Shazam.
swinger.
Oh, that's DC. Mother effer Marvel.
Yeah, but even talking about DC, how cool would it be if we had finally got a decent Superman game?
Oh,
Because I mean,
once in our
again,
life,
we've had some,
yes.
yeah, right, and again, I think Anthem's there at the top to say this can be done, it's possible, and
with
now's the
SSDs
time
you
to
can.
start bringing flying games out.
Built like once you get that up to speed and the way you'll be moving through the world at speed, or even like you're talking about flying game, like it'd be cool to get a decent Matrix game. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking
Yeah,
about all
with
those
the-
flying features and like the Matrix 2 where he's flying through the city at that ridiculous speed to catch Trinity. Like, games where you've got that sort of speed when flying would be amazing. So yeah, I would something like that for Iron Man. What do you think the other
Iron Man's a huge franchise.
huge IP? Yeah.
It is.
What do you think the
If they
other
do it well.
games might be? Because it's 3, so it's. I mean, there's a rumor
Black
around
Panther.
possibly Black Panther, which would be so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's already Wolverine coming, so I don't think we're going to get a Wolverine title anytime soon from anyone else. Yeah.
So yeah, Black Panther, and I don't know, it could be anything really. I'd like to see something different though. The Daredevil might be fun, but I'd like to see something like different though. The Daredevil might be fun, but I'd like to see something like it'd be interesting. Or maybe they could do a Deadpool if they did it right. But
Yeah, there
Yeah.
hasn't been a good Deadpool game in ages. I mean, I love
No,
Deadpool.
there's
They
not.
have to have the humour right. Yeah.
I'm surprised with the success of Deadpool that no one has touched Deadpool, but maybe because it is a hard thing to cover, I guess. But yeah, Iron Man be interesting. I mean, the PSVR Iron Man was poop, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
who done Anthem actually? Who made Anthem?
EA, BioWare.
That was EA. Yeah.
That wasn't
Yeah.
these people, was it?
No, it was BioWare.
No,
I suppose.
BioWare.
Yeah, BioWare. Yes, I suppose.
Because BioWare's working on
Yes.
BioWare-
There is some connection. I
BioWare's
guess.
working on Dragon Age 4, and they'll be working on Mass Effect again, which would be nice. But that's long.
But being
way out.
being under the umbrella of EA,
Yeah.
potentially BioWare could share that flight mechanic from Anthem. Potentially, I don't know,
100%.
but
It'd be good if they done it
That-
co-op and they added War Machine in it. That'd be great.
oh fuck yeah,
That'd be wicked, wouldn't it?
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, if they did that. And it'd be like to be able to get out
Absolutely.
the costume as well. If you're not in it all the time, you just, if you could
I'll
step
be
out
in
of
and
it.
out, so you could actually have a proper
Yeah.
role-playing game.
Yeah. Probably. You buy gear, you earn money, you run a business, earn money, and you improve your armors and stuff, make new armors and stuff. You actually create them and stuff. That'd be wicked, wouldn't it?
Well, you'd set those
That
things as side missions most likely,
Yeah.
and your main missions and main traversal
You get to
around the
pick your
places
AI?
as Iron Man.
That'd be cool. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be some good
And if it's in a
AIs.
world like GTA, where it's
Bettany,
massive, you
please.
can actually fly between buildings and all sorts and stuff like that, and fly really high and whatever. That'd be wicked.
I want to see a game
Yeah.
with vision in it. I love vision, actually. I do. I really do. It'd be real cool.
Yeah, I can't think what other characters. There's so many
There's Midnight
characters they could
Suns
do,
coming,
but
isn't there?
yeah. The Suicide Squad got cancelled, didn't it? The game.
No?
Don't know.
Delayed?
I've not heard
Indefinitely?
anything.
Was
I'm
it
sure they
delayed
cancelled. I've not heard any more from it. But that was supposed to release this year, wasn't it?
Don't know. I haven't been paying any attention to that, to be honest with you.
No shit.
Yeah.
The Kill the Justice League one.
Yeah.
Just typing.
Oh.
One moment.
Okay.
Pauses every day. That's what's going on.
We'll play some elevator music while she's typing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't be bothered looking into this at the moment. Yeah. It's not been cancelled. It's still due for release. But 2023. 2023, next year.
Oh, it's all coming. Oh, awesome.
Man, next year, there's going to be so many games next year.
Too many.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to take like at least a year off of work.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't. I need it. I
Do
need
that.
more annual leave to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in the chat, what do you guys think the other two potential games that they will be making in partnership with Marvel for those? Yeah.
We're not going to talk until you list them.
Yeah, right. Right.
Hello, Boba
Sure.
Fett.
Punisher, yes, try out fan Punisher.
That gets more
Suicide
ridiculous
Squad.
every time.
I'm seeing what I can do with it.
Keyboard and mouse, thank you. Yeah. Oh, don't forget Skydance, new media, Marvel game, 4 heroes, 2 worlds, 1 war. Damn.
Is that like 2 girls, 1 cup?
No. 4 girls finger painting?
Oh, man. Oh, God damn it.
Damn.
This podcast has gone to shit.
It has. I mean, we're both. I'm
Speaking,
tired.
Red. Speaking of things going to shit, PlayStation's lost nearly 2 million subscribers.
Oh, boom.
Sorry, that was a great transition, by the way. I appreciate it.
See, that's why you guys keep me around. So, have you guys heard the news since their restructure?
Yep.
They've lost about 2 million subscribers. Now, I reckon that will increase with the release of God of War Ragnarok.
You mean they'll get those subscribers
but
back?
a lot of, yeah, like it'll not all of them, obviously, because one game's not necessarily
Well, it's
going to
not
move the
releasing
needle
into
back
the
to 2
service,
million
right?
subscribers. But it's about quality, right, and quantity, and what you're getting for that dollar. And I don't think people are seeing the value in it.
But you're not getting the game in the subscription, right? You have to pay for it.
Correct. But what I'm saying is because it's putting Sony back up in lights, and it's
Mindshare.
Yeah, it's advertising. Exactly right. It's mindshare. Exactly. So I know that's not in the service, but just the fact that it's a new game, it's coming out.
And it's PlayStation.
I mean, if you have a jump on Twitter right now, if you scroll through your feed, I guarantee you'll see an ad from Sony or PlayStation about their service, and it's only started to appear recently since this article, or it's become more prominent in my feed anyway since this article came out. So they're definitely trying to push and get more people to
Push the
subscribe.
narrative.
But a game launch, a big game launch as well, they're probably not going to have anything huge for a very long time after this game, after God of War Ragnarok. So it's just, getting
what's
the
coming next
advertising
year?
out there. It's on buses. It's all over the place.
In the chat,
There's
what's coming for PlayStation next year after God of War?
I don't believe there's anything. Nothing big anyway.
Coming to PlayStation next year. Let me cover this for you because you'll both use this. We've got Spider-Man. We've got
Undercover
that's
Pony.
Oh,
that's
Wolverine,
their only-
right?
yeah,
No.
that's 2024. We've got Spider-Man, which is first party. That's about it. We possibly might have the Last of Us remake. The Last of Us multiplayer remake. That might be out next year.
Oh,
it.
Horizon Zero Dawn remake.
Otherwise-
I mean, Master,
No,
whatever it
that's-
is.
No, they've got VR, Horizon Zero Dawn VR. Otherwise, they've only really got third party. They've got their
Horizon
Final
Forbidden
Fantasy
Kingdom
game.
VR,
They've got that. What's that? Forsaken. They've got. There's a lot of stuff. Is sort of their generic third party titles, but first party we've really got is Spider-Man and possibly The Last of Us multiplayer.
I mean, to be honest,
Spider-Man's probably going to get delayed.
yeah. I mean, PlayStation Plus. Getting back on topic, the subscribers dropping to nearly 2 million users isn't unheard of in the sense of like I wasn't surprised by this. They've revamped it, moved people over, and some people were like, I don't want to pay the higher subscription to get access to those backwards compatible games and so on and so forth, or people are willing to pay that. But I also think we're looking at the time of year that this happened at, where a lot of more people were going outside, because over in the Northern Hemisphere it was summer, we're now heading into winter, so I think those subscriptions will probably go back up again. But it was to be expected. Like, we're starting to see some of the tail end of the pandemic. I mean, that'll be the same on Xbox's side. Growth in that space for subscription services hasn't been really high on the console side, except on PC for Game Pass, where it's like a 150% increase in subscriptions on the PC Game Pass. But like, this isn't surprising at all. They also don't have enough, I feel like, enough incentive to encourage people to stay subscribed to this, because you've got to remember, free-to-play games, you don't have to be subscribed for this to access to those. And that's the same on Xbox's side. You don't have to be subscribed to access free-to-play games like Fortnite and so on and so forth. So those games that make a hell of a lot of money on revenue in that, you do not have to access that. And I think incentives is eventually you're probably going to start seeing games like God of War Ragnarok eventually go into this subscription service, and that's when you're going to see an influx for the people who originally didn't buy it day one and maybe were looking for a sale, and then when it comes into here they're like, all right, I now have a reason. Or people who haven't been able to buy a console and now buy a console, and then to go, oh yeah, I'll subscribe to PS Plus, and then I'll get access to all these games. And so I think there's a lot of things going on in that space as to why they dropped nearly 2 million users since then. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts?
As Charles says, they've made a profit still, but I mean that's because I think the PS
There's
Plus is overpriced.
No denying it's profitable. Yeah.
Yeah, it is overpriced. I mean, what is it? It's $20 a month, is it?
$20 a month, and it's got old games in it, which most of us have all
Basically,
played already.
really.
Well,
Yeah,
for me, I
yeah,
haven't
exactly.
because, like, I've never owned a PlayStation.
Yeah.
No,
Especially as PlayStation fans say they buy all their games anyway, and they buy them all day one. So what's the point of having them in a subscription service? Because
That's the hardcore. Casuals take up way more of that market than they do. I mean, just look at COD. We're going to boycott COD.
Absolutely.
How much did COD make on its opening weekend? Over $800 million.
800 million.
Yep.
That's more than what?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Top Gun Maverick. That's more than what was it? The Doctor Strange movie.
Doctor Strange, the multiverse.
Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, and that's just one game on its opening weekend, and it is free to like. It's like you've got microtransactions in there as well, so that's insane. The amount of money they're going to make off that basically eclipses those movies. And
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's its
you got to
biggest
remember,
launch
it's only
in
like
years.
five people on Twitter saying they were going to boycott it.
Oh, let's cancel our subscription because we don't want the money going to Xbox. Xbox doesn't own it. Microsoft doesn't own it. And if all you're really hurting is PlayStation's bottom line, because they get money when you buy it, and when you spend money in the microtransactions and all of that, they are making money off you. So you're really just hurting your own plastic box that you care so much about when you think about it at the end of the day. Small-minded people.
Anyway, it's good. It'll be interesting to see what the next quarter brings for PlayStation Plus, because this was the third decline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And I can't
you
see
know,
it
Their
going
monthly
up
active users
unless
have
they
been
do
on a
something
decline as
drastic,
well.
Well, again, like we keep saying, you got to have day and date.
Day to day, or drop the price from $20. I don't know why it's so expensive for what it is. It offers way less than Game Pass, but it's like $5 more a month. So I don't know why they just don't drop it.
Yeah,
It's madness.
it is crazy. Just like you, Elite.
Greed, don't it? It's greed's getting to them. As long as they're still making money, they don't really care, do they? I guess.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. I think Jim's just looking for the short-term wins until he vacates the position.
Do you reckon he's going to vacate soon?
He'll either leave or get pushed.
Yeah, get pushed. Hello.
Because the problem is, he's I don't know. I just don't think that anything he's doing is long-term.
Yeah.
And once that gets super obvious, he'll be ousted. But
I mean,
anyway,
it's just interesting talking about this. Like, PlayStation 5 has so many million units sold, but their profits fall 49% due to like rising costs, and that's insane when you think about it like that. The amount of money lost, but that can be a multitude of things. Because remember, yes, they're trying to stem that loss by putting the console up in price. But people, you're kind of pricing yourself out of the market in that to some degree, because I know there will still be people who are like, I'll pay for that. But then if less people are buying the console, less people are buying your software, and software is where you make your money back. That's really where the money back is. It's why PlayStation is fighting so hard around this ABK deal, and I don't know how many times Phil Spencer can say, like, as long as there's a PlayStation console available for us to ship COD on, we're going to ship it on PlayStation. Like, it's just interesting when you look at it like that.
Yeah. I mean, over here in Australia, the PlayStation 5 disc version is $800. $800.
That's insane.
You know, the Xbox is $750, so it's an extra $50 on top. And what do you get? You know, I don't know.
It's $1,000 here.
Damn, really?
Yep, and that's for the Horizon Forbidden West bundle. It's $1,000 here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so when it
speaking of the bundle, real quick,
when it first released, the PlayStation 5, the disc edition was $819, and the Xbox Series X was $799. So it was like $21 more expensive to get a PlayStation 5, and now it is like almost $300 difference in price in my country. How fucking ridiculous is that? And you can't get any other edition other than the Horizon Forbidden West edition.
They really do treat you guys like the US and Canada. Same deal. Because I haven't even seen that here. I could be wrong. They might have it here, but I haven't seen it at all. You can still pick up a PlayStation without a bundle. But the bundle's not really it's just a console with a game. It's not a special edition console or anything like that. So,
sorry.
They've struggled to sell that game.
$200 difference. I don't know where my math was. It's $200 difference. Like, fuck that. Sorry, it just is. Sorry. Like, I would not be spending an extra $200 for a PlayStation 5 and one game. Nope.
So how much would you pay for PlayStation VR2?
Oh, shit. $0.
Yeah, so PlayStation VR2 has been announced.
If it was
it's
like
releasing
VR
next February.
AR integrated, then maybe I'd consider it, but it's not.
Yeah, it's priced at, what was it? It was £2,000, I think, wasn't it? Oh no, $549.99.
Isn't it
So
$5.99 UK though? Like is that the UK price or the Europe price?
No, that's the US price.
US. So $550 US.
$850 here it'll be.
Wow, so it's the same price as a PlayStation 5.
For a headset.
Yes.
A peripheral.
Well, knowing
Yeah.
us, considering the price, the PSVR will probably be $1,000 here as well. Knowing us.
That's crazy.
So we've got Tryhard fan. I just want to know what he says or what he thinks about that price for VR. $550.
He'll say it's fine.
I understand the price. I just don't agree with it myself as a consumer, and for what it is. Like, if it was completely wireless, yeah, maybe.
Is that enough for you, Red? Just for
no,
it
I'll
to be
get
wireless?
frigging no. I just think that that's more
it's like
believable.
wireless.
That price would be more understandable if it was wireless. I understand.
Apparently, there's only 11 games.
Yeah, no, there's only 11 games. There's no backwards compatibility. I
And
don't
they're gonna be-
understand why there's no backwards compatibility based on what they said. However, I still think it could have been capable of doing backwards compatibility if they put the time and
course it
effort
is.
into
PlayStation
it.
5 is, yeah.
But they're not going to because that would be time and effort and money, and they just want to sell this product. There's coming out in February next year, right after the holiday when everyone's bought a PlayStation 5. Are people going to have money to pick up a VR at this point? Probably not. I mean, the hardcore are going to buy it and tell us how amazing it is after they've bought all 11 games. But for a lot of people, VR is still at a point where you still get motion sick. Like, I think augmented reality is probably where it's at. That's what I think.
100%. It's probably, I think the first PSVR sold around 5 to 6 million units,
Yeah.
which is pretty tiny compared to the player base.
Such a niche
And this
market,
is
yeah.
gonna, in my opinion, gonna sell even less.
Yeah.
Just
totally.
mainly based on price.
Price point. Yeah, totally.
I mean, we got rates and things going up, fuel costs. People aren't going to buy a peripheral. They would prefer to spend the money on a console than a peripheral.
They would prefer to get a
I don't-
freaking subscription service and get PlayStation Plus than probably go and buy a VR.
I don't think you'll even sell a million in the first year. I don't think that.
I think they will. I think there are enough hardcore PlayStation gamers out there for them to sell that much.
Nah, not a mil.
Nah.
You don't reckon? I reckon definitely.
No.
It's the same price as PlayStation 5. They're struggling to sell PlayStation 5s. It's not going to sell. They're not going to sell. Nah, they're not going to sell that many. It's the games. It's not even the games for it. It's going to be like the last one. It's just going to be barely supported. I mean, the best game they've got coming out for it is that Horizon Forbidden West VR, and it just looks sort
Horizon
of like
Forbidden Kingdom one, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Lost Kingdom. Or I
yeah,
can't
it
remember
just
what
looks
it's
like
called.
a sort of walk around, sort of yay kind of thing. You know, it's awful. I think it's going to die. I don't get it because then you got better units on the market like the Oculus and that, and they're cheaper.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know who it's aimed at. It's literally only aimed at PlayStation fans, isn't it? And it's just not. It's going to die.
What do you reckon? I mean, from my understanding, do you reckon have they said anything about PC compatibility with the unit? Is it going to be PC compatible so that they can?
That would save it
so that
if there was. But I
the
don't think there is.
PlayStation storefront on PC with the games that they sell on that would be a little bit probably more palatable in that sense, and ease that because then you're able to double dip in your markets, not just console limited, but PC as well. But like, it's probably not set
Well-
up for the best for PC, right? I mean, you don't need the camera anymore, which makes it easier.
Yeah, well, hey, how's this, Red? When the PSVR came out, I actually bought one from EB Games so I could sell it and make some money out of it. So I did that. And now I've just looked up my order history, and back when the PSVR came out, I bought it on the 15th of October 2016,
Shit.
and it was $550. So now it's gone from $550 all the way to $850.
Fuck
That's
that.
a massive increase on cost,
Buy a new
on
TV.
price. That's what I'm saying. So if the original one only sold about 5 to 6 million units, and this one's well, not double, but getting up there, don't you
Yeah.
think it's going to sell even less?
Probably.
Especially in the circumstances we're in.
Yeah, the circumstances we're in, yeah. I still think there are those silly, die-hard PlayStation... Sorry, to the toxic ones. I'm talking about the toxic ones who are just going to die on their sword until the very last breath they have that PlayStation is better no matter what. And those are going to be the people who go out and buy it. And they're going to be the ones going, this is great, and talking about it, and then secretly going, why the fuck did I spend this money and there's only 11 games? Yeah, I mean, there's more games coming, obviously, but I still think PlayStation is too early for this. Like, if you're going to do VR, it's not quite there. And do what Xbox is doing. They're not making a VR game. VR peripheral. They're just going to use PC's peripherals. They're partnering with them. That's a way smarter idea. Because then you don't
Yeah.
have to spend the
I-
R&D on those.
I reckon, guys in the chat, let us know if you're going to pick up a PSVR2. Put a 1 in the chat if you will. 2
Or
if you're
just
not
pick up
going to.
another PS5 instead.
Well, that's exactly right, huh? So you'd be better off getting either spending that money on games, on another console, on putting that money aside for your subscription service that would pay it over a few years.
Go outside and
You know,
touch some grass.
There's so many different things that you could spend that money on and get more value out of than a headset that's 850 Australian bucks, 550 US. That's pretty expensive.
850. That's going to be $1,000 here. That's going to be $1,000.
Yeah.
That's insane.
For $2,000 for the PlayStation 5 and the VR to it, it's just ridiculous. That's even before you bought games.
I am not buying a brand new PlayStation 5 if I buy one. I am going to buy a second-hand PlayStation 5 in New Zealand, and I'm not going to be spending anything like that. Like, oh, fuck.
Well, Red, I stand corrected. An article from Kotaku Australia says it's going to be $879.95, so it's $880.
So $1,100 in New Zealand. Great.
Yeah.
Probably, knowing us now, I think they'll probably put it at $1,000, considering the console is at $1,000.
The reason why HoloLens didn't kick off on the Xbox is because it was just too priced. They thought it's just not worth it because it will just die.
A PlayStation console hasn't been this expensive in New Zealand since the PS3. The PS3 was
that series. The Series S is looking pretty good right now, isn't it? Oh. So I think the Series S here in Australia is $550. So what's that in New Zealand?
Series S at the moment is, I think it was $549. $549, yeah.
$549.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bloody.
And what was it? They just announced what the Series X is. They're losing like up to $200 on each Series X console sold, right?
Yeah, but that's pretty typical.
That's pretty typical.
That's not new news.
I know, but that's like, they're willing to take a loss on that because they know they're going to earn their money somewhere else. Like, and then PlayStation putting their console up and all this other stuff. I don't know. I just feel like it's the wrong time to be doing this in what's happening in the market we're in and all the prices going up. And console gaming was expensive before all this started happening. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's not.
You're paying $550 for PSVR, and all the games are novelty. I think a lot of the games on the PSVR 1 were a lot of them were just novelty games. They weren't games that you sit and just dedicate time to, like your God of Wars or your Last of Us. They were just novelty games that you pick up and play for an hour and then put down again. It's just just have a look what it is, what it's like. You know, I mean, it's not something that you just dedicate time to VR yet.
Yeah.
And so you're certainly not going to pay $550 just for a bit of fun for an hour.
Yeah.
You're just not going to do it. It's ridiculous. I don't know what they're... And I think all the try-hard fans that you hear... Sorry, try-hard fan, let me know. All these super fans that you hear on Twitter, they're not going to buy it. They're going to talk about it, and they're going to say they all bought it, and they're going to say they all played it continuously, and they're going to say it's amazing. But I bet you...
They're going to put their receipts up online to show that they've ordered it, and then they're all going to sell it right after.
A picture of their mate's one. Yeah, well, yeah.
Cancel there.
Yeah, and then, yeah. They won't own it. Or they walk into a store, take a picture of it and go, oh, look, I've got one. Yeah, they won't have it. And the sales will show that. Sales will show that. The sales of the unit and sales of the games. That's what they never announced. The sales of any of the games in the PSVR. You notice that? Never mentioned how much those games sell.
Anytime there's poor sales in anything, game, peripheral, console, whatever, they don't mention it when it's bad.
Like Xbox didn't mention
That's why we haven't heard any sales of Horizon Forbidden West yet.
Yep.
Because they've bundled it, and they're going to stay quiet until they hit a particular number, and then they'll announce it, saying, yes, we've sold such and such amount.
That's why Xbox just doesn't say it away. Just doesn't say anything. It's just not saying anything. Rather than just promote the good stuff and then keep quiet about the bad
Monthly
stuff.
active users is a better trick for them.
It's obvious. Yeah.
So in the chat, is anyone going to pick up a PSVR?
No, there's a couple of twos in there. There's a nope.
Charles
Heavy Rain.
Charles said actually worth it. He thinks it's worth the tech, the value.
Of course he does.
He's not going to pick it up. It's crazy. Crazy talk, Charles. Crazy, man. It's not worth $550. Come on.
I mean,
it's heaven as
if
well.
you were in
peripherals shouldn't cost the same amount
or
more than a console.
Yeah,
than the main hardware.
Yeah, the hardware
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's different with PC gaming because it's a whole different
It's not
kettle of
unless
fish.
you like
But when
plug
it comes
it in
to
and it gives
consoles,
your PlayStation like 3 times extra power, then you're like, oh, I understand why it's more expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's just craziness. Anyway,
Anyway, anywho's,
Are we talking about the reviews for the God of War? Is that what we're talking about?
I wasn't done to the fourth topic. We've got another topic here.
Oh, you want to end on God of War? Okay.
Yeah, we can do, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
We can
that.
waffle about
Go
it.
for it.
Yeah. Yeah, bruv. Right. You broke my thunder here. Go on then, Ashley, you can say something.
no.
Oh, the EU is to launch an advanced probe into the ABK deal, not into your bottom. So, yes.
Possibly.
Well, it's into the backside
So,
of
I've got loads
Microsoft,
of
right?
ads,
So
so I
maybe it
can't
is
look
into
at
the
the link.
bottom line.
Yeah. EA is about to launch an advanced probe into the Microsoft Activision deal. Sources say. I'd love to know what these sources are. Brussels is in a flutter with concerns about COD. So, yeah, so apparently EA are going to investigate it.
EU.
According to
EU.
EU, EA.
Yeah.
EU is going to investigate it. So, I don't know. I'll take this all with a pinch of salt, to be honest.
This is all coming off the CMA stuff, I reckon, just because of what's been coming out of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're all big followers of Sony and I. They're,
FIFA.
Sony dominates Europe, so I don't know what. Maybe they're concerned about losing a cut of some stuff. I don't know. I don't want to compare. I don't know why
They're worried about losing Jim Ryan's hairdresser. That's what they're worried about.
Yeah. I really don't get the concern about this. I really don't get it. Why all these things are kicking up a fuss? What are they actually worried about? Why would it hurt their bottom line? Europe's bottom line or England's bottom line and stuff.
It's about the consumer, right?
Why? Because the UK and most of Europe is heavy PlayStation heavy. So, because they're so PlayStation heavy, if they lose COD the way that they have it now, they make less money.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
So they are almost helping Sony to gatekeep because they're concerned that, I don't know, for whatever reason, they don't want Xbox to lead the market. They want to keep Sony as the market leader. So they don't want to do anything that could jeopardise that chance, that opportunity, for whatever reason. Even though, either way, wherever the deal is, wherever COD is, these companies, EA and everyone in England, will still make money. It's not as if the money will vanish. It's not as if they only make money from PlayStation. They make money from sales for it on Xbox as well. It's not as if they'll lose anything from it. So I'm just wondering why it's such a concern to them. Who owns the game or who has the exclusive content or whatever.
I think they're looking at the market share and they're looking at the consumer base, and the consumer base is heavily PlayStation, and then they see what happens when there is a lot of those people, if they want to play this game around, they're just going to buy it outright, but it can't even come to Game Pass anyway. How many of them are actually going to, at this point, switch over to Xbox right away, unless there are these cool exclusive maps, skins, XP, and all of that stuff that PlayStation has been getting, but their exclusivity deal around that, and their marketing deal around that, is going to be lasting for probably up to 7 years anyway. At least 3 more years of this. So they're not going to be impacted right away, and that gives PlayStation a time to kind of get some games up and running as gas games to try and challenge that market share. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's...
But I was just going to say, but we never had any of this issue, any of this complaints or this crying when the 360 had the deal, when Xbox 360 had the deal with COD and stuff like that, and then it switched hands to Sony. There was no, oh, wait a minute, are you sure you want to switch hands? Should we allow it to switch hands? Should Sony take it?
Well, that was just a marketing deal, right?
Yeah, and they had exclusive content and stuff like that, and the marketing deal and stuff like that. And the majority of players were on 360, weren't they? The majority of COD players were playing on 360 and PC.
Yeah, and they moved over with the different console, the better console.
Yes, exactly. So the
market and they moved over
shift.
For the exclusive marketing exclusivity deal rights for that.
Exactly.
So
the players do shift.
Yeah, but that won't be for a couple of years because those marketing deals aren't going to finish when the ABK deal is signed. Because Phil has said that they're going to keep the deal for that and let it run its course. And then they offered them another deal later on, and it wasn't good enough. And now they're complaining like little children and throwing their toys out of their cot because they don't think it's good enough. Doesn't matter if you don't think it's good enough. If they own the company, they can give you whatever the hell they want. And the fact that they're offering a deal to you like that, just go sort your gas games out, suck it up. It's business, it's competition at the end of the day. And if you could have bought ABK, you would.
I think Phil's been too soft. I think he should stop offering a deal. I think he should say that. Just
No,
suck it up,
he's
Jim.
being smart, like around money. Like just at opening weekend, 800 million. And a lot of that was on PlayStation. Like PlayStation had its massive opening weekend for COD, right? They're not going to turn around and go, no, we're just going to not put that, we're just going to go sayonara and burn money. But I think they're going to definitely encourage, once they can get it on Game Pass, people moving into that subscription there. And yes, it will hurt PlayStation, but PlayStation's still here. Nintendo doesn't need COD to survive.
Yeah, but Nintendo's got very, very strong IP.
I know. So
and games and
are you saying
loyal
that
fans.
PlayStation's IP isn't as strong as they pretend it is, and their fans aren't as loyal as they pretend they are?
You know the answer. You know the answer to that already.
I do know the answer to that. Yeah, 100%.
Come to the next generation when there's a PlayStation, if there's a PlayStation 6.
Yeah.
And COD's exclusive, or not exclusive, owned by Xbox. People are going to buy, most likely buy, the casuals, that is, which is the majority of the people that buy PlayStations, will buy an Xbox.
And we're going to
that's
go back
when
to...
it's going to affect them.
Sorry.
Sales. That'll affect their sales.
We're also probably going to go back to, like, actual... oh my god, why can't I think of it? Custom consoles. For COD, I reckon we might get some WoW ones. We might get some Diablo ones. That'd be nice for once. Yeah.
Yep. So the flow-on effect of this deal for Sony is way out, but it will affect them
Eventually.
And
yes,
yep, absolutely.
But again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, so there could be something else that completely obliterates COD down the line.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't know, and that's exactly why PlayStation bought Bungie. Yeah. For that exact reason.
Yep.
And they're pushing this Last of Us factions thing. I think they're trying to make a big thing of that as well, aren't they? But so they're all going to compete. So, but I as Charles says, I thought the biggest concern was COD being exclusive. Well, no, Jim was more concerned about it being on Game Pass day one and losing that exclusive content. I think
as players not getting treated the same as Xbox players and being impacted negatively.
Let's put it this way: I'd prefer if it was exclusive because I'm a prick like that. But at the same time, it only needs to be on Game Pass
day one
for it to be a massive deal right there. Yeah. So it doesn't really
Jim
matter.
Wants to stop. He literally said that, didn't he? In his last cry, he said, it's not. We can't compete with Game Pass. Yada yada yada. It's not fair. I'm telling my mum stuff like that. He said. So, but, that's what,
with his binky,
yeah,
have his binky.
I'm getting my brother, just stuff like that, and then and then
he'll sort you out,
and and then he was whining about the parity, weren't they? Or they might have a better version than ours. It's not fair, and then it was not fair that they might have exclusive content, but which won't have. That was the most ridiculous thing. Him crying about Xbox possibly having exclusive content. Which is what they literally have now, and who's complaining about Xbox having it. You couldn't just make this up, could you?
I mean, no, Jim Ryan writes his own jokes
because he knows how much it's worth.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. In all seriousness, he sounds a little incompetent to me. So, anyway, it is what it is. The deal's going to go through, whether people like it or not. More importantly, with this second probe though, and Elite likes the word probe, is this the same team that looked at it first? Is this a different team? Are we actually going to get some people with some brains looking at this, as opposed to just mimicking?
What are you talking
Sony's
about?
words?
Microsoft is just going to buy the EU, and like they did with Brazil, and they did with that's what they're going to do, and then that's how the deal's going to go through because Microsoft has FU money.
Yeah.
Well, if the EU agrees with it, remember, EU, that means all the PlayStation fans will say EU's corrupt. The whole country, all of Europe's corrupt, just like Brazil.
Oh, yeah. There'll be someone, at least one person out there to say that for sure. 100%.
What America has to say about it. The American regulators, what they got to say about it?
Oh, the FMA.
Yeah,
I don't think it really matters, does it?
they're going to let it go anyway. They don't give a shit, do they?
Yeah.
I think they
I
will.
mean, look,
I think they'll be.
they let.
bigger investigation, but I think it'll still go.
Nah. Nah. What have they Did they investigate Disney on all of their purchases, acquisitions?
Nah.
Do they really give a shit? Nah. Realistically, it's American company buying an American company. They don't care.
And sort of while we're on this subject, it sort of goes a bit. But the interesting thing about recently is, I know that we've heard it talked about recently, is the was it IDOS Studios working on Fable now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Montreal, Adios Montreal,
yeah, working on Fable, who are owned by Embracer.
assisting. Yep.
Yeah, who, which then is weird because Crystal Dynamics are also owned by Embracer. You know, this is actually a monopoly company, which is not being allowed to just buy studios willy-nilly and not have anything mentioned or anything.
Like Tencent.
Yeah, they just buy stuff and like everyone just shrugs it off. Yeah, they own Embracer, and then Crystal Dynamics are working on Perfect Darkness.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect
Yep.
Dark.
But
Perfect
so I think that's odd
Darkness.
that Embracer Group. Yeah, I think that sounds like a game. Is it odd that Embracer Group that have having two of their studios, game studios, working on sort of, you could say, a rival game company's game?
Yeah,
You
but
think that's quite odd?
those deals were there prior to the
No.
Embracer deal acquisition, right?
Yep.
Things are just coming to light
They would
more.
be.
Like, we knew about the Perfect Dark, but a lot of us didn't know about the Fable thing. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff happening in there that we don't know about. I think it's going to be interesting to see. But I also think, like, the people who are going, what's happening at Playground Games? Why are they needing help? They haven't made a game like this before. Playground Games has made racing games. This is their first foray into this style of game, and so they will be getting outside help initially. Yes, they're hiring a whole heap of staff to assist, but they've still got a lot to learn. And I would rather it be help from like outside studios and such to make the best Fable game in years, because we haven't had a Fable game in forever, and so I'm quite happy for them to go outside and get assistance from other developers who have more experience than they do in that style or that genre of game. And we just have to be realistic about this, that is what happens in the industry. It just does. And for those going, what's happening in Microsoft's world? A lot is happening, and they've got a lot going on. They're juggling a lot. There's so many games that are going to be coming out next year that people are going to forget about Fable until they announce more on it anyway, because there are bigger games coming at this point. Starfield. Oh, I just want Hellblade 2. I really want Hellblade 2. Hurry up.
I think that. I think the funny thing. Oh, go on, Astro, go on. You go.
I was just going to say, people are quick to forget that The Last of Us 2 had over 2,000 people working on it and 14 studios. 14 studios.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just one helping out
Yeah.
a team. Like, for fuck's sake, come on.
Yeah, I mean, they're choosing to be ignorant again, and I think this is where the term quadruple A comes in, where rather than relying on sort of a bunch of little teams to help them out, they're actually just getting another AAA team to come and help them out. So you're effectively having two AAA teams working on one game, and I think that's sort of where they was looking to when they said the sort of quadruple A rather than AAA, quadruple A, because they're combining two AAA studios to make
Or teams.
one game, basically.
Yeah,
And I think that's why it's a
they're
bit
giving it
bigger
a ridiculous
than the
budget
regular.
to allow them to bring those extra teams on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs a support. There you go, support studio every now and then. With a game so big, again, COVID and all that kind of stuff has slowed things down, and they're obviously got to try and get these games out at the same time. So they're like, all right, well, we're going to need help to get this game out on at a certain date. It's already probably been pushed back internally a year or two.
But
So
you look
they're
at,
going to like, all right, guys, well, we can't afford to delay it any further. Let's get some help in to assist us with this project.
Undead Labs, right? The guy from that who's gone off and done his other team to just do animations for UE5. they will be a support studio in that regard, because once they've worked on that, they can actually offer those services and like to other Microsoft studios who are using Unreal 5 and so on and so forth. So like Microsoft is showing that they're willing to allow their own talent to just go to the studios that need support in that particular area. And that's the great thing about having that many studios and going like, Sea of Thieves, you're great at doing water, how did you do it with the cloud? Why don't you show other people how to do that, and so on and so forth. Like Gears going in and sending people out to help with the Matrix demo. Like, time and time again we're seeing this. And so if you can get talent and support from someone else who knows how to do something better than you do, why would you just shoot yourself in the foot and take 10 years to figure it out when you've got someone else who's already figured it out for you, and you can just go, hey, tell me, let's work on this, or teach me, so that we can teach our other developers here how to do it in future as well. Yeah, I don't see why support is seen as such a negative aspect.
Because it's what do you call it? It's fear mongering. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But yeah, we'll see that more and more as we go, as games get bigger, as the more studios that Xbox gets under their belt, they will all interchange tech assistance in all sorts of ways. Whether it's, how cool would it be if you had the guys from say id Software, assisting with Halo or another shooter that they might make, or just really anything like that.
The Coalition went over and helped Epic, didn't they?
Yep, with the Matrix demo.
On their Matrix demo. So no one batted an eyelid there. No one was going, oh, Epic's in trouble. Epic's going under.
That's because who has shares in Epic?
Yeah,
PlayStation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, just pointing out the double standards of the people complaining.
Buying shares in publishers, how dare they? Disgusting.
Oh, she.
Yeah. So,
Wow. What do we got? Actually, we got about 9 people watching at the moment, so we appreciate that. Hit that like button. You guys are watching the Gamers Initiative podcast with EliteGamingGuru, Red Dead Panda, and myself, AshtreyGaming. You're watching some footage of Red playing A Plague's Tale Requiem.
Yeah.
At the moment, offline.
Yeah, man. Appearing offline while I record this stuff. Yeah.
Offline action.
I think we have one more topic before we end the show.
Who's leading us off?
Who's gonna?
You can. Elite can do it.
No, Elite. He knows more about it.
Red.
All right. This is God of War, isn't it? I was
Yep.
looking on the thingies for it. Hey, God of War. So I don't know if any of you guys heard. God of War reviews are in, and it scored so far 94% on Metacritic, and yes. So I mean that's a great score.
Well done. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Firstly, though, I just have to say I hate Metacritic. The whole thing. I've made videos on this before. Across the board, across all of it. PlayStation doesn't care. The whole system is flawed and broken, and you just can't take much. You take the whole thing with a pinch of salt. It's just flawed. So that's what I just want to say. So well done that. I think what sort of annoys me most is when you look at the reviews. I mean, as I said on Twitter, God of War Ragnarok had 7 IGN accounts, separate accounts reviewing their game, giving it 9s and 10s. 7 of them. France, Spain, Italy, Adria, which is a town in Italy. We're all reviewing this game. I just think it's crazy that this is why PlayStation games have so many more reviews than Xbox and PC. They have more reviews than PC, and Nintendo. They have more reviews than everyone, because they just all these the reviewers come out of the woodwork and just start rating the games up.
Don't you think IGN should have just gone together, had a discussion, go, this is what I want to score, this is what I want to score, and let's just put this as an aggregated result or average result from all of IGN, and go, this is IGN's actual score worldwide.
Yeah,
it'd be 100 anyway.
Yeah, it would. But
it would be. Yeah, but it wouldn't be like 7 scores of 100.
Yeah,
which massively boosts scores up, didn't they? So that's why I'm saying the whole thing's just a mess. It's a shambles, because when you look at Xbox games or PC games, you won't get 7 Xbox review, IGN reviews scoring their games 10 out of 10. But I think that what's disgusting, in a recent video I watched, is there was one IGN reviewer that didn't do as he's told, and he didn't score it 10 out of 10. How dare he? He scored it 6 out of 10. Korea, IGN Korea, and he's been absolutely attacked by PlayStation fans for it, saying he's biased. I love the whole bias thing. When when everyone scores a game 10 out of 10, there's no bias at all. But when someone scores it below 10, it's like they're biased. These stupidity in the already there. Yeah, so they've been attacked and having racist things said against them.
What were some of those racist
But
things?
what's your guys' take on?
Well, straight up, there's no such thing as a perfect score. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
No.
It's impossible.
Hate that.
I don't care what brand, what console, what product. There's never a 10 out of 10 that's BS, and I don't agree with that.
There's always something that's going to annoy you, yeah.
It's a perfect score is not. It's just impossible. It really is. Even my favorite games aren't 10 out of 10s. I can guarantee you that. In saying that, once you and this was as of yesterday about this time, so 24 hours ago, I wrote down all of those scores in a spreadsheet. I removed all the hundreds out, and then I averaged the remaining scores at the time, and it was actually a 91. So I mean that's still a great score anyway, and that's more legitimate.
That's
It would probably be because it's sitting at 94, it would have been a 91. It'd probably sit around 93, 92 if those were 99s. And I would accept a 99 out of 100, not 100 out of 100. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't have a thing on the AshtreyGaming review thing on it. Nothing should be 10 out of 10. That's a ridiculous score.
Nah, but wait until the more reviews come out. Most of them will be favourable for sure, but there will be those outliers that'll be 6s and 7s and 8s. I think there's some 8s out there, or 80s, whatever you want to call it. There will be some 6s and that. And look, again, it's personal opinion. I don't really follow Metacritic at all. Don't really care about it, but I prefer to. I mean, even with friends that I play with, and they said, "Oh, this game's good," I'm still skeptical because I'm like, "Well, I like things different to you guys, but hey, I'll give it a shot." And I usually go, "Nah, it's trash," and move on. So yeah, Metacritic's lame, but as soon as you start saying, "Oh no, a 6 is wrong," it's got to be wrong. That's bullshit. Blah blah blah. It's just like, hang on, just because you don't agree with that particular score. It's now, it's not a legit thing. It's like, come on, man.
And for them to start...
You're happy to accept 100 out of 100 and claim that's to be a legit score, but not a 6 out of 10. I haven't read the dude's review. I don't care. But there's obviously, unless it's like really like way off base, it's probably a legitimate score. And this is the other thing
It's
too.
someone's opinion, right?
A 6 out of 10 is not a friggin' bad score for anything. It's above average. Average is 5. Average is average. It's a hit or miss. That's a 50-50. A 6 is above average. Everyone wants everything to be 100 or 90 plus, basically, meta. And that's just not how it works. I've played games that are only in the 60s or 70s, and I've had the best fun, like Crackdown 3, for example.
Yep.
It's a different type of game to God of War, but I'm not talking about genre and comparing genres. I'm just saying playability and fun is what drives the needle for me more than anything. And everyone's got a difference. Fonz likes, narrative and stuff more than anything. So, but you can't just chastise one person for a score of a 6.
Well, for them to start bringing
Just
race
'cause you don't
into
agree with it.
And like one
Well,
of the
that's just
comments that you
ridiculous.
guys mentioned was like, it's because all they do is eat rice. I'm like, that's a disgusting, despicable thing to say about someone.
You have to watch Alex's video.
And it's horrific. Yeah, go watch Ono. It's Alex's video. I think those people
Where he calls out these racist pricks.
Yeah, exactly. I think they should be called out, and I think it's freaking bad for that comment. Calling out bias and all of that. Like, you got to remember, over in like Asia, the types of games that release there are very different to what happens in Western markets, and so there is a reality there. You've also got to remember that PlayStation primarily Japanese, and for you guys to talk and say, "Oh, it's because they eat rice today." What do Japanese people eat? Rice. How hypocritical are you? And how
I ate rice.
despicable are you as
So do
human
I.
beings that you think it's okay to say that shit? Like, it's disgusting. And no
You
one
need
should
to
be
go and
pulling
watch your
someone
red.
up
You can
based
get more
on
angry.
where they are around the world as to their opinion on a game that they played. It's their freaking opinion. If you don't like it, you can ignore it. Hell, if you want to play the game, play the game. You're already going to be playing it because you're reading all the reviews and you're so upset about the game not getting a 10 out of 10 and all this other crap. Go play the game, enjoy it, and shut your mouth. Reality.
But hey, Red, this was to be expected. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see when Survivor put theirs out. See
That's
what
the other
happens.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing, as I was saying. Well, firstly, the IGN career score isn't on Metacritic. It's on Critic. It wasn't
Open Critic.
Open Critic. Yes, it wasn't allowed on Metacritic.
Speaking English for you, that's all.
Yeah.
It wasn't allowed on Metacritic for some reason. We know the obvious reason that Sony didn't want it to affect their score, so they've kicked that one. So they've allowed 7 other IGN scores, the ones that give it 10s out of 10s, but the one that give it 6 out of 10, yeah, IGN, you can fuck off that score. Yeah, that one's been blacklisted. And the same with
It's bought and
Survivor.
paid.
Yeah, they've blacklisted Survivor, so he's not scored the game either yet, or anyone that sort of has their own opinion and mind for games. They've kicked them off, and anyone that's a yes boy is allowed to score it on Metacritic.
Yeah.
Anyone else, no, not interested in your score, not interested. We only want 10s here. That's why I said Metacritic is broken, and
Well, if you only
Sony
want
shouldn't have
10s,
the
how are you
power to
gonna
blacklist journalists like that.
I mean,
They
this
shouldn't,
is-
because
this is-
that's not.
This is
Go
the
on,
first game that PlayStation has released this year that's actually gone above 90 and above. All of their other games, sub 90. So kudos to them for getting that, but it just seems ridiculous. You're right that IGN having, yes, it's all over the world, and I understand different perspectives, but like they could have averaged it out, and they could have said specifically in their own thing, like this is what this place scored, this is what this place scored, because like people think differently around the world and so on and so forth. But like IGN as a brand doesn't have to be locale to that location, or considering how worlds like how widespread it is out in the world. It's just ridiculous. And for those who are so upset about a bad score, it's got a 94 on Metacritic. And what's its score on OpenCritic?
It's scored 94 on OpenCritic as well.
Then how big a deal is that score impacting your little
Because they're
precious
entitled,
minds?
that's why. Yeah, they are under the illusion that all PlayStation games should score 10 out of 10. The end.
I'm not
Nothing
going to
less,
like
because
every
they're
game out
entitled
there. This
and all
might
weird.
be a game that a genre that they don't usually like to play, so that's why they scored it so low. Were you going to score every genre you like? I mean, you don't like really high just because it's a game that's first party in the console that you like. They probably would. But like, there are plenty of games where everyone's like, it's amazing, and I go to play it, I'm like, yeah, nah, it's not really my cup of tea, and pass on it because I've played it, and I'm just like, nah, not for me. I wouldn't give a game like that just because it was on Xbox like a 10 out of 10 at all. Because the reality of the situation is I'm a gamer, I'm fickle, and I know what I like and what I don't like, and I'm going to tell the truth. Reality is what reality is. Yeah. But, you know, logic is also logic, and people don't use their brains.
And I had some idiot Sony fanboy come at me on Twitter saying about it deserves that score, because I think I mentioned to you, Astray, because it's better than God of War 2018 in every single way. So I said to him, so God of War 2018 isn't a masterpiece then? And he went silent. Fucking idiot.
Outsmarted.
And that's the problem with 10 out of 10 scoring. You can't give something a 10 out of 10, and then
Yep.
another game comes out, and that's 10
There's
out of 10.
always room to improve.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there is.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. So if it ruins the whole 10 out of 10 narrative, you can't then say it's better than the other game in every way. But that scored 10 out of 10, so it can't be, can it? It has to be the
Yep.
same game. So it's it's either one or the other.
Well, do you think
so-
this has the likelihood of Game of the Year?
That I think that will create just like sort of Red Dead. I reckon it will be because of Jeff Sonny Keighley. But it will cause a lot of tension, just like Last of Us 2 did, and like.
Well, he did legally change his middle
God
name
of
to
War
Sony.
2018
Yes, I see that.
You guys are terrible.
Did he post
Leave-
a picture of himself on Twitter? kissing
Leave
God of War
Jeff
and playing it?
alone.
The
He
Jeffs.
posted
I'm sorry, I was
picture
just
of him
trolling
holding the
now.
God of War CD and kissing it or something, didn't he? Recently on Twitter. because he's been playing it, hasn't he? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like that guy who
the
sleeps
little
with his
hole in the middle of it,
PlayStation.
he's sticking his tongue through it.
Look, it doesn't really matter anyway. Whatever.
It
I'll
will
pick
be,
it up.
will win Game of the Year.
I'll pick it up on the
Exactly.
PS4 Slim.
Exactly.
When it's on sale.
Shizno. He said, I always heard that GT7 wasn't any good and didn't score well, but I've had a blast with it. Yes. A score does not tell you how you'll go, like, the enjoyment you're going to experience on a game. But at all. So I guess the biggest thing for me is just the fact that people are using the fact that the score came from someone in South Korea as a way to prove how racist and ignorant they really are, and shouldn't be allowed to play video games until they are normal.
No such thing. Not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen, 'cause people are
Elden Ring has a
assholes.
big following. I agree. Red Dead 2 had a big following. These other games do have big followings, but they don't do the voting.
Yeah.
Jeff ultimately makes the decision, and he will say, "I like this game because Sony gave me money, so this game's winning it."
No.
At the end of it.
Yep.
No.
That's what happened. Like The Last of Us 2 and
Well, I
God
hope.
of War. Because Red Dead 2 should have won it. I know people say God of War was a bit of game, but at the end of the day, Red Dead 2 won more categories in the actual Game Awards themselves. It won more categories, so how could it lose to a game with less won categories?
I hope
You can't
that
say this
everyone
game's
who is
better.
who's picked up God of War Ragnarok is having a blast with it, and is
not out yet.
Oh, is it not? No, is it next week? I don't fucking know anymore, guys. I couldn't remember. Honestly, I've got all my days mixed up this week. The whole time I was like, I'm going to be late for this meeting. And they're like, the meeting is in 3 days, Serena. I'm like, oh, oops. I've had my whole week
so
muddled up.
it comes out next week.
Okay. Well, for those who pick it
I
up
think it's
next
the
week,
9th, I believe.
I am looking forward to the amount of tweets that try and shove it down your throat and say how PlayStation is better. Who cares? Enjoy your game. And I can't tell you that you're going to enjoy the game or not, but I hope you do.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks,
November 9th.
thanks for that,
Thanks,
Red.
Tryhard.
Alright.
I have no
She's
idea
on-
what.
someone's on
It's
crack.
it's only the 5th today. Oh, it's Guy Fawkes. Okay. There we go. Completely forgot.
She's on crack, and I don't mean the stuff that you snort.
Elite. You know, I'm gonna find you one of these days and just murder you.
She didn't deny it though.
Click emoji.
Oh, shit.
Gee. Dirty. But anyway.
1v1 me, Elite. Come on.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Run. Save yourself.
Yeah, basically. All right.
Oh, shit. All right, let's do some outros. Lee, where can we find you? And
Did because-
all that shit.
Red has murdered him.
Here in my gym jams. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter.
You wear slippers, don't you?
Yeah, I've got some UGG slippers. So
Yeah, nice. Okay.
The UGG
You're
ones
not-
are
You
nice.
too. Mine are
No,
from
they're not the
Australia.
F1 ones. I got the
No.
other
Made out
ones.
of real koalas.
I thought you'd
no.
wear those slip-in brown ones that the old people wear. But anyway.
Well, they are brown, but because they're UGGs, you know, UGGs. Sort of, they're
I've got black
brown
Uggs,
I've
man.
got green
Yeah,
Uggs.
they're UGGs. So you like UGGs.
Yeah.
Red,
I
you
just
wear
figured
Crocs,
you'd.
be quiet.
I do not own Crocs at all. I think those are despicable. But to anyone who
But you
owns
wear
them, go
jandals.
for it. I live in
Yeah.
jandals, thank you, all year round.
All right. Late, have you dropped any videos recently? Who are you
I've
upsetting
dropped
on Twitter?
videos. Yeah, I've dropped a video recently, and I'm going to drop a video. Yes, fucking hell, yeah. Right, so I've started a new Ghost series. Everyone go and check that video out. Because I'm coming into
Where?
Ghosts and stuff. So on my channel, EliteGamingGuru at youtube.com.net. I don't know what's the YouTube.
Dude, do you have your own handle yet or what?
Yeah, I do.
Well,
Link in the
just quote
description.
your handle now.
Yeah, it's Elite Gaming Guru. Just Elite Gaming Guru. There we go.
Okay.
YouTube, wherever it is. So I've got a new Ghost series on there. Go and check that out, and I've got a video there dropping. What I do is I cut out all the crap. You know, you go to these Ghost videos, you think, oh, because me and Miss stop watching Ghost things, and you watch Ghost things, and you get the guy talking through it, just narrating all the way through it, and you just feel like, shut the fuck up. Or he goes into the history of something, and this house has been there for 10 years, and this guy called Gary lived there, and his son lived there, and yeah, he had to paint his steps one day. And you think, shut the fuck up, I just want to see the ghost. Yeah, and so my video just does that. And it also cuts out all the crappy ones. You know, the guy like standing in the corner with a blanket over him. It cuts out all the crappy ones like that. I just look for the real ghosts, the real decent stuff, and I've made a video just on that, and I've got a series doing that. So check that out. Yeah, and I'll usually still doing my Twitter fanboy zone. So that just dropped recently, and I've got another one, a fun one dropping next year. That I think you might like it.
Next year even.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good. Red, yourself, you made a video yet or what?
Yeah, I have, but it's not for... No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I'll just get myself into trouble.
I'd still like to see that.
No, I haven't even really been on Twitter much recently. I've been MIA. I have been so busy, and all my time is spent like when I can game, just here and there. Other than that, I've been just, work, my girlfriend, and occasionally video games, and spending time with family. Yeah. That's about it. I've been
very good.
Shit.
Okay.
I'm a fraud.
All right.
I'm a fraud. Less of a fraud than
we
a
know.
lead, though.
That's okay. Yeah, we're all frauds, especially the blue one. If he ever hears this, he's a fraud. So yeah, you can find me at AshtreyGaming, which is everything. So YouTube, Xbox, and Twitter, all at AshtreyGaming. Dropped a video a couple of days ago.
Pornhub as well. You can find him on Pornhub.
Yep. At AshtreyGaming as well. I like to keep everything the same so it's easy to find. Someone's actually probably going to go look that up. Elite, stop typing. Who said they're hairy? Anyway, I dropped a video a few days ago in regards to the Black Friday deal in America at the US Target. You can get a Series S and a free copy of COD. So that's doing really well for me. It's at 1.2k views, so I'm happy with that. I'll hopefully start making another video tomorrow. I guested on Fonz's channel last week, his Games Talk Live. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. I'm on camera. You can watch that. That was pretty good. That was fun. Didn't get any of the questions right, but I knew I wouldn't, so it doesn't really matter.
What happened? Where was you? Was you on Fonz's show?
Yeah.
Oh, you POS.
Well, hey, I would have done an outro last week if you didn't cut the show off, and I would have told you.
Oh, man. I'm going to go watch that shit out now.
Yeah, man, it was good.
Get your face, yeah.
Yep. So I'm on there talking with Fonz about all sorts of different things. That was good. That was fun. And I'm in a couple of weeks' time, I'll be on Ham Solo's show as well on Cam again for that. So
I'm on,
that's coming up
Ham
soon.
Solo's next week.
Oh, so now you remember.
Hey, I told you today I was on there next week.
Yeah, but you didn't tell the audience.
Thank you for reminding me.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, you reminded me to say that. Yeah, I'm on Han Solo's show next week. Yeah.
So look out for details around that. Hopefully Red posts something on Twitter.
I will.
I'm sure Ham will.
He's going to go
and then
ham.
We'll check that out.
Ham.
Ham sandwich.
Red.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, it's been good. I've been making some videos and then been on cam and stuff. So that's awesome. Doing this every.
There's only Cam channel.
And then doing this most Saturdays as well. So that's been good. It's been fun. I've been enjoying it. And that's my outro. See you guys next week.
Bye. Right, so I think that's all I've done all our topics. I hope you enjoyed the topics. Please sub and share. Just me, ignore the others. Drop a like. Don't forget to drop a like. And share this out on Twitter. We want to get as more people in there and get as many into the group as possible. I don't know where I was going with that. But thank you all for watching, and goodbye for now.
Goodbye. Don't end the show, Elite.